Shout out to Marlo. Good dude, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good dude.
Law Murray's going to join us to talk about the display that some of the young Kings put on. I'm hoping Daequon Plowden went off.
That's your guy, man.
My guy.
You have claimed Daequon Plowden.
Nice enough to join us. Of course, he covers the Clippers and the NBA for The Athletic. Law Murray, how are you today, Law?
I feel good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you. We appreciate it. We saw your post, of course, about Daequon Plowden and Carter and Isaac Jones and Maxime and Nique Clifford playing well together. Tell us what you saw and what impressed you.
I mean, well, first of all, shout out to y'all confirming my social media work because there's some people that be shadow banning your boy. So
really,
I'm glad.
You ain't gonna name names, right? No names.
I never name names because it's never about the person. It's always about the principle. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I try and make sure everybody know we cool personally, but your actions now. I want to make sure I'm cool with everybody going forward. But shout out to you guys. Y'all, it's always cool to be like, oh, y'all saw that stuff, huh? So I watched these guys, and first couple games, I'm like, oh, cool, the Kings are here. You know what I'm saying? At UCLA, and shout out to Rico. I think you guys are familiar with Rico with his time with the Kings, so, it's great to just watch guys enjoy basketball in the summertime, man. But I just noticed they kept winning games. They got to see some of the Sixers guys, who Sixers had out there. VJ Edgecombe, number 3 overall pick. Shendon Watford, who they signed. Jabari Walker. Janai Broome, who's their second-round pick. And they just kept winning. And at one point, I got Isaac Jones. I was like, "Who's that?" Because I saw a dude hitting threes, getting dunks, handling the ball confidently. He's like, "All right, man, he ain't just some dude. He looked like he what we doing out here." And I was like, "Oh, he played in Atlanta. He with us now." It's like, "Oh, Daequon Plowden."
Yes.
And Daequon really popped to me. It's like, I was like, who is this dude? Because I know Daequon's name and I know his numbers, but it's like, other than last summer when he earned a job because of his game, I haven't really gotten to see him in person like that. But seeing him in person is like, yeah, that dude's an NBA player, And so it was just fun to see. It's always cool when you see pros on the same team, go on the court in the summertime and play these games back to back to back. You know what I'm saying? And it was a notably good day for those guys. So shout out to them.
Yeah, it's funny, Law Murray with this. I had the same reaction when I saw Daequon Plowden play in Summer League. But I want to ask you, as you watch this, were you tempted to shout, "Light the beam! Light the beam"? Were you doing that at all, Law?
Nah, man, I was sitting there like a fly on the wall. Like I ain't trying to be loud out there. Heck no.
Hey, Law, for people that don't know, I haven't even been, but I'm very familiar with Rico Hines and, what he's doing down there at UCLA. How hard are the guys going in these scrimmages?
Rico is literally there to let guys know that y'all not going to be shirking on his watch. Like, now is it the most organized as far as, it's not like they running a bunch of ATOs or anything like that. Like it's pickup basketball, but like Rico, if guys are not getting back, if guys are cherry picking, if guys are, just kind of bumming it out there, he'll stop play and like he'll get on guys, and those other guys who are facilitating on the side courts, they'll do that as well, but especially on Rico's court in the middle. Like Rico doesn't let these guys, just be there just to be there. If you're going to go to one of these open runs, you're trying to get yourself into a spot where you are ready to play basketball at a high level when training camp starts. And a lot of these guys who are playing the most, they're in a position where they got to impress in camp to leave a mark to, either make a team or earn a rotation spot or at least if they're going to start the season in the G League, you know exactly what you need to do to get the heck out the G League. Nobody trying to be in the G League. You know what I'm saying? So if you're hooping in the summertime, like that competition, it's like guys want to win. You know, at the very least, guys want to go to the car with something to talk about. You know, so yeah, like this isn't like you know, this ain't what I see at LA Fitness. You know, I'm not talking about you get me on the court. I play defense, so like you ain't got to talk to me. But I'm just letting y'all know.
Okay. All right, appreciate that. Law Murray with us. Want to ask you about Devin Carter because it's an interesting case. He was a high draft pick of the previous regime. We're not sure what the current regime thinks of him. They may love him. We don't know. They said they wanted to play him a point guard in summer league, and we're not sure he's a point guard. And I know this, what you saw yesterday, I know, like you say, guys weren't running things, but you had an interesting response to someone asking about Devin Carter's jump shot, which I believe was basically, I can't believe it goes in, but it does. Tell us about how Devin Carter looked, if you would.
Nah, man, Devin Carter, interesting looking basketball player. And I ain't just talking about the hair, like Devin Carter, man, is someone who, like, I just want to see him be given a real opportunity to play. Like, he couldn't do this time last year. He was recovering from shoulder surgery. He didn't get to have a rookie experience at Summer League. He didn't get to run up and down the floor and get himself ready for training camp. Like, he had to spend all that time rehabbing and whatnot. And then by the time he debuted, his team was in a very weird spot. Like, he was about to lose his starting point guard. His head coach that he was – I don't know if Devin even got to play for Mike Brown, I don't think that debut happened until after Doug took the job. That's really hard, man. So, like, the good thing is Devin got to get on the court last year. He got to play some. He got to see how far away he is from where the Kings will hope that he is to justify that lottery spot. And what I saw from him is that he's comfortable just being a guy on the court who can fill whatever. It's not like he was dominating the basketball, like Daequon, Nique Clifford. Those guys they had the ball at least as much as Devin did. But, Devin's going to defend. He can shoot. It's just his jump shot. It's like, I don't think you're ever going to be totally comfortable with it because, like, he's got a somewhat low release and everything. And that thing, there's some gyms I've been in, that ball touching the roof. They're touching the ceiling if he's shooting it. But, I mean, that dude, it was the same thing if you watched him at Providence College, that he knows that ball going in. That's why he's shooting it. So I'm less interested in all of that. I do want to see him, see if he can like be a point guard and actually run some offense. And I don't think you're going to get any of that in a summer league setting. You know what I'm saying? Like, or a pickup setting.
Right.
You got to wait to the preseason and see who he's going to be on the floor with and see how many of those veterans that he's going to be on the floor with to see if that happens. And you know what? The Kings got 3 guys who aren't quote unquote point guards that need the ball in their hands.
Yeah.
And so I know they got Dennis Schroeder. We'll see what the rest of their summer looks like. But if you're Devin Carter, you ain't really, maybe you can run some stuff. But like if you playing with Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Domantas Sabonis, being the point guard sometimes just means getting those who's the ball and making sure you can hit shots when they're created for you.
Law Murray joining us here from The Athletic. Law, to tell me about our young rookies, Nique Clifford and Maxime Raynaud. They showed some flashes out there in Summer League. They looked, especially Nique at times, looked more mature than his experience in the NBA. How did they look during those runs?
I love Nique Clifford. I've been watching Nique Clifford for a little while now because, there was a chance that he could have been in last year's draft. He decided to go back to Colorado State. And so I thought it was very interesting that Scott Perry drafted him because Scott Perry got Josh Hart to New York when he was still in the Knicks front office. And now, obviously, I think Nique Clifford can have some Josh Hart outcomes. Like, they're about the same size. Nique might be a little more athletic. Actually, I'm confident enough saying that Nique is definitely more athletic than Josh Hart is. Josh is probably a little stronger and probably a better. But when you look at what Nique Clifford was able to do at the college level And when you look at what he was able to do in summer league, like you see those outcomes. I think that guy, he can play with stars. He can play with ball dominant guys. He's confident enough in his shot. I don't think he's a movement shooter, but like he's a guy who can make some shots. But he knows how to cut. He knows how to run. He's going to defend. I love that dude. That dude should be a day one second string player for Sacramento. Raynaud is a center. You know what I mean? Like I think he's got enough skill to get by offensively. Like you can space him out. He's not afraid to, score inside. He's got enough size to hold up. There's nothing really flashy about his game, despite the fact that he can shoot. Like, he fills the lineup pretty well. Like it's not like I watched him yesterday and was like, oh snap, he popped. Now a guy like Isaac Jones, I'm excited about Isaac Jones.
Yeah.
First of all, that dude looked like Robert Covington, so I always kind of have to double take, make sure I'm looking at the right guy. But like, I mean, I think just as a power forward, like he's a prototypical dude. Like you see Trey Lyles not on the roster right now. I don't know who you would say is their backup for, like Dario Saric. Like Dario, he lost his rotation spot in Denver by Thanksgiving. Like Isaac Jones, if he plays well this preseason, I feel like he has a chance to get some minutes, like for that team, because he offers something that is a compliment to what they have in their starting five. So I know people are going to want to see Raynaud, and Raynaud's got an opportunity too. Like there's not a lot of it's Raynaud and Drew Eubanks at center right now in Sacramento. So there's an opportunity there for him. But I think Isaac Jones, especially since he's got a year of experience under his belt, he would be someone to watch. Every time I see Isaac Jones get some real run, I mean, you saw what he did this summer. Yeah. You saw what he did in the G League last year. He got himself a little showcase All-Star weekend because, that was an opportunity for guys as well. Like, he's got some intriguing outcomes, and I want to see what he does with an opportunity looking at Sacramento's depth chart this fall.
Yeah, when he plays well, he plays with such force. Law Murray's nice enough to join us. We have done the Kaminga conversation to death, but we haven't got your view on it yet. We don't know if anything's going to happen. We don't know where it's going. It looks most likely like he stays with the Warriors, but we know the Kings have some interest there. I know it's hard to answer without knowing which pieces are going where, but what do you think of the Kings' interest, and what do you think of Kaminga's fit with the Kings?
I think the fit would be terrible. We just described all the ball dominant guys that are in Sacramento. Yep. And I think that's the biggest conflict with Jonathan Kaminga. Jonathan Kaminga is at his best when he has full, a blank slate to just do what he does best, really do the only thing that he does consistently well, and that is get buckets, draw fouls, get to the free throw line, get downhill. I mean, he has a really special ability to do that, but everything else leaves you wanting. And some of it is because of sheer just focus of, are you going to do the things required of you depending on who you're playing with? Like Sacramento just has a surplus of those dudes already. One thing Sacramento's not starving for is they're not starving for guys to have the ball in their hands. And so it depends on who you would move, but Jonathan's just not the level of player who I think you should be prioritizing if you're Sacramento. I get it, but even with Keegan Murray, I might have told you guys before, Keegan Murray is being asked to do things that are probably a stretch of what he is supposed to be doing. And at the same time, he's not getting the opportunity to stretch his wings offensively. Mm-hmm. You already have a better version of that player on your team. I don't see where Kaminga really fits in, but that's why Golden State's in the situation they're in with him, because they tried to sell Kaminga to everybody else, and now they're stuck with a restricted free agent.
Hey, Law Murray joining us, but he's not the only restricted free agent. You got Giddey, Grimes. Like, why do you think restricted free agency has become so restricted, if you will, this offseason?
Because this is the reality of the collective bargaining agreement that we're in. Guys think that they can get something either in the short term or in the next year that might not be readily available. And none of these teams have any real reason to blink. Like, what you going to do? You going to go get your bag somewhere. Where's the bag coming from? No one's got cap space. Teams have moved on. And so, like, also, none of these guys are all restricted for a damn reason. Like, Josh Giddey got traded by a team that wound up winning a championship, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cam Thomas was on a team that got worse every year he's been on the team. Jonathan Kaminga, you won yourself a championship, and what has Golden State done since then? All of these guys. Quentin Grimes is on his fourth team? Like, all of these guys, if their teams prioritized them as part of the future, they would have gotten paid last year. They didn't get paid last year. Now it's like you're in a bubble. And in this version of the CBA, nobody's trying to give up flexibility just to cave into demands of guys that they didn't fully want to commit to a year earlier. And it's a very intriguing class. It's like all these guys can play, but all these guys are flawed to a degree that these teams want to be able to make sure they can trade them if need be in the next year. But also, all these guys, if they take a qualifying offer, it's like, man, you probably should have just taken the best offer before you get to a point where you're really going into a QO for a year.
Yep. Law Murray, thank you, Law. We appreciate your insight and your time very much. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Hope to talk to you again soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, Law. Peace out, man.
There you go. Very
high on our guys,
very high on, what he's seeing.
Isaac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He hyping up, too.
Plowden.
Yeah, your boy. I mean, shoot, why can't we just start the games now, right? It's great to hear it, though, man. And even Devin Carter, he bigged up. He hyped up. I mean, and I understand it's pickup basketball and everything like that. But first of all, the fact that we got guys down there playing together, that's encouraging to me. Guys are putting in the work as a unit. We heard Domas the other day said he was going to head down, to SoCal and work out with some of the guys. And so the work is already being put in, which is encouraging.
To me, it's just really encouraging that you have 5 younger guys that are playing well together, and they all have varying degrees of promise, but they all have promise. And it wasn't that long ago, Raynaud wasn't here. Yeah. Clifford wasn't here. We didn't know who Daequon Plowden was.
Right.
And, we can easily get carried away in the summer, but now you've got those. And Isaac Jones, wasn't that long ago. We didn't know what he was, right? And now after his showing at Summer League, there's a lot of people that know a lot about basketball, like Law Murray, that are excited about this guy. So the Kings might be an overstatement to say they have a young core.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Something's coming together there, and it's just nice to see that they have some young talent when we've all been saying they need to get younger.
Right. And, it gives us hope for this season. Not only, obviously, we want the team to win, but to see how these young guys develop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's one thing, fans will be looking at as well. And so, I thought the Summer League, we did excellent. Guys played extremely well, and it's nice to see it continue now at UCLA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have more on that when we come back. Also, oh, boy, we'll look at bad news for fans of the old NBA on TNT show with Kenny and Chuck and Shaq and Ernie. What's ESPN doing to this show? We'll tell you when we come back to Sactown Sports.
You never